So what do you do when your elevator half breaks off? Flying along, minding your own business, and your tailplane encounters a post or a bush or your foot, and it breaks off. How do we put that back together? Here's a suggestion. So let's just imagine that this elevator half broke off about here. In the case of this, it's pretty thin. You might have one that's thicker. We're talking foam here. You could just, if your surface is thick enough, like the molded foam airplanes, it's probably strong enough to just use some 5-minute type epoxy and glue the piece back on. Here I've got any number of books and magazines it takes to shim it up to where we're level. And you just want to be able to support it, so you're creating a new plane that's on this plane, and I still need to go up. I still need to go up more. So we'll go up more. Okay, and you just keep shimming this. So, and who said that if there was no use for encyclopedias anymore? Here we are. Okay, now you want to probably weight your side down. You want to make sure that this is vertical. So if you have a square or anything like that, you want to jig your plane up so that it's square. So weight it down, and at any grocery store you've got bamboo skewers to choose from. Thick ones, thin ones. So for this, of course, we're just going to choose a thin one. Another reason for the book, the hardbound books have a nice dip in them near the binding. Think of that as our guide. And I'm going to line up on the fuselage because this isn't broken off, but I would line it up with, where I want to repair it. And so that you can, where did I put that? There it is. I always cover things up and then I wonder where they went. Okay, so the idea would be to put a skewer through here into the piece that's remaining, and then we would cut off a short piece. So we'd maybe make 2 holes, and then we'd cut off a short piece of skewer so that we have 2 pokey ends out. Then I would take my broken piece and I would slide it into that just to mark the 2 locations, because we wanted to extend just a short ways into each piece, just a short ways. Now, how do I make that hole? Okay, I want it to be, these have to be, to join together, they have to be parallel, don't they? So I'm using the back edge of this book, and let's pretend that this groove is being marked for here. And so right now it's 2.5 inches to the back edge of the book, 2.5 inches. So now this is parallel to the hinge line. So I know that any hole I make is going to be going straight across. So I get this all, pressed together. I've got my relative thing here. I would stick this into it would be the edge of that surface. Stick it in. Do that 2 times. Break off a short piece. Then I would embed the short piece. again, we're pretending that this is back here sticking out of the mating surface. So once I've gotten 2 of those, then I could take my piece of surface out here, and I can press it up against that, and then either mark with a marker where that hole is, or actually press it on to make a hole. So then I would take the broken surface and just line it up with the edge. I lost my point. What's my point? Yeah. So then you can take I'm hard-bound and determined. Okay, so then you would just take your broken surface, again, line it up, so that the hinge line is a known distance from the back edge of the book, so that you know that your hinge line is perpendicular to what, or parallel with what you want to use. You would hold that surface down, and again, make your holes into it. Then, going back to your jig, flip that piece back over, stick them together, see how they fit. If you like the way it fits, take it apart, put some 5-minute epoxy, stick it back together. If you really have these 2 piles at the same height, then you can just glue it together, weight it down, and you'll know that this will come out as a straight horizontal stabilizer once the glue sets. Okay?